And this is this moment where all these conservatives who so deeply like swore to you, funny is funny, we're being comedians, nothing is sacred, kill all sacred cows, and suddenly are like, no, we were talking about trans people.
Yeah.
A straight white guy who I met once, this is really serious. What did Dave Portnoy say? This is one of the darkest days in our nation's history. And then released a review of a pizza shop 3 hours later.
He should have ranked other darkest days.
Yes,
and
rank
included a ranking of Pearl Harbor,
9/10, 9/11, October 7th. And by the way, for October 7th, he just meant when he went to see Gutenberg and you were playing the lead.
Josh Gad wasn't even there. Oh.
Hey, no, do not joke about October 7th. I was supposed to see Josh Gad that night, and I saw a podcaster.
It's so funny to imagine Dave Portnoy going to any theater.
Oh my God. If you served fucking pizza at a fucking theater, Dave Portnoy would be there to review it.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just this thing where I go like, no, you shouldn't cater it. It's crazy. Now I'm excited in a nerdy fan way of like, I'm like, South Park guys, fucking make an episode that the White House sues Paramount to get taken down. Make an episode that they will not air and people demand it, and then release it on fucking Patreon. We'll host it. Listen, South Park guys, if you really want to push it, we will put it on the Patreon. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, this is the moment, the moments where everyone says, which is bullshit. We all know it's bullshit. Everyone knows it's bullshit, which is why, again, like who's worth criticizing? Is it the conservatives who disagree with me fundamentally? And if you put a gun to their head, they'd say, yeah, I don't care about Palestine. I don't care about anyone. The people I'm here to criticize are the fucking liberals, the Ezra Kleins, and even worse, just the ones who go like, guys, this is we need to like act like this person wasn't an extremist. Anything aside, you can say that you think really adamantly like, you know, violence is never the answer. Fine, but to go like this man did politics the right way. I think every time they talked about this guy, they should have, like on the news, you know, you go like, you know, very sorry for this thing, let's play a clip. And every clip is just, people don't even know who it is. And now all these videos on Twitter will be like, hey, here's a video of Charlie Kirk talking to a black man. He doesn't say a single slur. Now do you feel good? Now are you happy? Yeah. Hey, here's Charlie Kirk, and he's talking to a gay college kid. He doesn't call him the F word once.
He's not even spitting on him.
He's not even spitting on him. Wow. How do you feel?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Let me tell you, if Russell and I were killed in a shooting, he'd be the first one to have said, listen, sometimes you take some losses to protect the Second Amendment. He said that. If you say out loud, listen, some deaths, you just accept it. It's worth it for the Second Amendment. How?
And I've never said that.
I've never said that.
I have never said that.
Let me be clear. If it involves me getting hurt, take all the laws away.
Single gun, and I would be like, okay, and that is just so I don't get shot. You know, like so I.
And I saw there was a comedian friend. I'm gonna forget their name, but they basically are like, you have to admit the iron. You have to admit, you know, there's comedy and irony. They basically said, if I was killed by a trans Palestinian sex worker, you'd have to laugh. Yeah, you'd have to laugh because, you know, that's what they advocate for.
That's
it's
what
like,
they advocate for. Yeah,
get out of here, dude. And then
I said this the other day privately to you. I just kind of because I didn't know fully like much. I really didn't like anytime I saw him talking about things. So I was like, I can't have that in my life. So I really tried to avoid it. But it's kind of like that feeling of like when someone does like big game hunting, and then
Yes.
and then a lion does something, you're like, I don't think you should have been doing some of those things. It was dangerous and it was bad, and I didn't wish it to happen.
Why do you need to go out of your way?
I didn't know
You
about it. I
wait.
wasn't paying attention. I wasn't advocating for it to happen.
Yeah.
But there's only so much I can feel when you're like, oh, you shouldn't have been doing all that. Like that was dangerous and bad. And I'm not saying you deserved it.
And also, it's not worth but it's not worth your breath. It's just not worth your breath. I mean, again, it's like the problem with like playing into it for one fucking solitary second is like these people, the Whitney Cummings of the world, would see a video of a dad in Gaza carrying a plastic bag of his child's body parts and not blink an eye. And there would not be enough of an American gravitational pull for them to be held accountable for their not caring at all. And so, like, to give it to the pull of like,
they're able to be like, I would never live in an area that looked like that. Like, I'm not saying this is conscious again.
Or they go, it's AI generated, or it's
it really is being like, not having the imagination to imagine your life in different circumstances, and
course.
being able to, like, so when you see like a college campus that you've seen before, and like in your country, like that feels so much more jarring. But you're like, we're all humans, and what we've seen for over the last few years on social media, it's not unusual to go on. So sadly, it's not unusual to go on social media and see someone die every day.
Of course,
and yeah,
and the pull that they have, it's not just white, but when I see like the liberals go like, but this is really now the country's in a bad place. I go, that's because you associate with this person for a couple different dimensions. A major one is whiteness. One is class, having money. Mm-hmm. One is fame. And I go, for you to lack the self-awareness that you think because it touches an area that you're in, so thus it somehow is automatically ranks above all the other tragedies that happen in this world that you don't touch on. And you want everyone to buy into your thing that it is actually the most tragic, when there are people who have lost their fucking kids in a school shooting, or have family members, or live in Palestine, or live in any other place that goes through strife, including in America. You are demanding and threatening, like those who don't buy into the seriousness of the thing that kind of just was in your orbit. You're full of shit. You're full of shit, and you should not be capitulated to. There was another shooting that day. If you don't equally talk about these people, then you hold no standing in my mind to tell anyone else what you should speak about. Go speak what you want to speak about. Flying flags half-mast, and then claiming by the way, all these fucking Republican cunts will never be held accountable that before there was any evidence at all, they were saying that it was a trans shooter. No one will ever hold it accountable. The news won't. No one will have the memory. No one will make it stick. They literally, with zero things going on, they tried to like test the waters, which, by the way, all of this is like a test. Hey, do we have enough pull here to finally send enough cops in to round up the libs in New York and fucking put a bullet in their head? That is, they're testing. They go, the fucking liberals, the left is out of control. Okay, we're not quite there yet. And then they find proof. They said that the bullet had pro-trans ideology on the bullet shells. It said TRN, which was whatever the company that made the bullets like thing. And no one's going to be held accountable for that incitement to mass violence. And it's not. And some of these people that I see liberals kind of giving credibility towards and like being like soft towards, I'm like, they would round a lot of people up the moment they could without batting an eye. And whatever that impulse is that leads you to liberalism, which I do think is like some degree of empathy or imagination, even though I think a lot of time it lacks the awareness of, one's privilege or whatever one prioritizes. It is it is being used to help people who have even less empathy. So, sorry, I know I'm right. It's just like, especially that thing about the with no evidence of anything, claiming it's a trans person.
Yeah.
I mean, it's out of this fucking world. And then the way that the language can just shift now that they find it's this white, 21-year-old, as they try to find out what party he belongs to. Then the shift goes, oh, his parents were Republicans, so they go, and clearly it was college that radicalized him. First of all, fucking morons, it's not college, it's the internet. The college doesn't matter anymore. The internet is our college.
Yeah.
And good luck monitoring that and having it like bow down the way that you did colleges. It is fucking chaos.
I wonder if there's been studies done on the obsession that the right has with trans people, like where that comes from, like what about it is that's the first thing that their brain goes to so often right now, and I wonder if it's rooted in like. Or it's just like that's what they talk about now, so it's a group think, and it's
I think that's like it's like obviously like 10 things. I think groupthink is part of it, and I think obviously some people. I ultimately think that like a lot of homophobia, transphobia, I do believe that a big chunk of it is like when you have gender very strict and the roles of gender very strict and the rules, it just allows you to maintain a kind of exact order with the levels of power that the patriarchy determines. And the moment you question those things, it's like the whole building of who's in power shakes a little bit. I think like it's the same thing with like porn, where it's the sense of like, well, if sex isn't fully regulated and strict, then maybe we can't reinforce the exact I think it's all to sound as lib as possible, like patriarchy related. Just like it's the only it shakes it up. It shakes it up.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, man. It's so nice.
Okay, so let me just read
so nice
Whitney Cummings.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what were you saying?
No, it's just really, I just feel so grateful to not have like, I don't like those sort of things, those deep, it would be so tiring. I like, look at how mad those people get all the time about like every little thing, all the while saying the First Amendment is the most important thing in the world. And freedom is the most important thing in the world. And it's just like, man, that is such an exhausting existence. It's so no wonder you can't watch movies and enjoy music, and it's just you're just I thought it was so interesting, and again, like it's weird to talk about because I don't want to come off as if I'm like, well, at least they're doing this, but I think it's interesting that some conservatives, like after that one shooter had detransitioned, but was trans at some point, where they floated the idea of like maybe trans people shouldn't have guns, and the NRA was like, no, oh yeah,
we're not entertaining that. Guns are the most. I'm like, all the free speech people, they caved pretty quick.
Yeah.
They immediately they were like, but not criticizing Israel. But the NRA was just like, did I just hear any group shouldn't have guns? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And it's not good. I'm not defending or supporting the NRA. It's more just interesting that you're like, oh, you say what you mean.
Yeah.
You really say what you mean.
Yeah.
And I don't like what you mean either, to be clear.
No, but they just see that as a percentage of sales that goes down, and that's ultimately.
It's nice in a world where I can't tell who's like literally just spewing bullshit. Like I don't know if a word JD Vance has ever said in the last 10 years is literally between his brain and what he wants, even if he knows.
I don't know.
And the NRA is like,
knows,
nope, there's nothing deeper here. Guns, and more guns.
I did see that one tweet. It made me laugh, where it was because they took the vice president's plane to take the body. Or
Yeah, they skipped the 9/11 memorial and went to Charlie Kirk's.
Someone made a funny tweet about being like, Trump was like, you can take your plane. Take your plane and do that.
It's incredible to like, because Trump doesn't even have the time or the space, or he's dealing with his own health problems. He's
building the ballroom. It feels like everything he's talked about is this ballroom, and I just like it's just funny to be like one of your dearest friends passed away tragically, publicly, and he's like all about that ballroom. He is decorated.
And you know what they'll say? They'll say, we all deal with grief in different ways. Some people bury themselves in their work.
You're listening to The Downside.
The Downside.
With Gianmarco Soresi.